Hello, I'm Tactical Pascal. Welcome to the channel. I hope this finds you all safe and well. In this DCS World video, I'm going to show you how to use Bullseye in the F-16C Viper. Easy peasy. Let's get cracking. Okay, so a Bullseye point is a generic reference point that we use for our operations. So a Bullseye point, I normally know them like this. However, in DCS, you'll see a little circle. It's normally blue. So let me just delete that and we'll put it down, I don't know, here somewhere. So here's our Bullseye point. So all target information is referenced from this Bullseye point, and we can reference positions as well. So this can be any point on the map, but as long as everyone knows where it is, we can give information from it. So you'll get a bearing and a range from the Bullseye point to a target, for example. You can have multiple targets and then you can do slightly cooler things with a Bullseye. But let's just say we'll focus on this target now. So we would say, let's say our call sign was Magic or Overlord. We'd say Overlord Group Bullseye 04090 25,000 Bandit. So we're saying from this Bullseye point, 040 degrees on the bearing, 90 miles at 25,000 feet, we have a bogey. Now, depending on where it's heading, we can say if it's flanking, if it's hot, whatever it's doing, depending on where our fighters are. But the basic information is bearing and range from this geographic point. Now in the F-16 we can use this to also tell in our own position. So if we're down here, right, make it actually blue. If we're down here, we've got our own position in the F-16 from the Bullseye. So let's say this was what, I don't know, 21050. So you would say checking in, so you'd say Viper 1 checking in Bullseye 21050. So you're telling everyone where you are. And then they can understand where you are from Bullseye. They know where targets are from Bullseye. And we all use this same geographic point. So a Bullseye point, you give bearing and range, not from the fighter, but bearing and range from the Bullseye point. And I'll go into the aircraft now and I'll show you how we figure that out. So here we are in the F-16 now. Our Bullseye point on the map, I'm on the Tactical DCS training server at the moment. So our Bullseye point, if we look for it, is this little circle here. Now, if I click on my aircraft, I can see already that I have a steer point selected. Now, steer point 4 is the Bullseye point. So for me, if I want to select the Bullseye point, all I need to go is list 0 and then bull. Now, you see here, it's not selected and it's also down on bull 25. So I need to double down and then I'm going to change my Bullseye point down to number 4. Now we can see here on my HSD that the Bullseye is selected there as a point. If I make my HSD my sensor of interest, we get that position from me. So we've not selected it yet. So the Bullseye point there is steer number 4. So if I want to select it, I'm going to double up and press 0 to mode select. Now you see the data change there on the right hand side. So if I move my cursor on the HSD over the Bullseye, we can see here, this position here is 1480, so it's 0 miles away, so it's on the Bullseye. So from the Bullseye, we get 30225, so my bearing is also shown here. So on the bottom left is my position. So I am 302 degrees, 25 miles from the Bullseye, and we can double check that on the map. So if we come out and go here, draw a line, and it's roughly there, 31025. It's just the way I've moved it around. So we are at Bullseye, or we are that position from the Bullseye point. So if we're talking about a target, we can use the HSD to move the position over. And in the bottom right here, we see the Bullseye position of this contact. So if I wanted to know what it was, I would say Overlord, declare group Bullseye 14030 27,000. And he would come back and tell me what the group bearing from Bullseye 14030 at 27,000 was. So if we go to our map, zoom out again, and we can get our Bullseye point 14027,000. That is actually Overlord, so that's our AWACS. And we can call in all the targets using Bullseye. Then everyone in the net will understand what you're talking about. So we now have it selected there. And also when we're airborne and our radar is on, the target information of the Bullseye position will also be marked on our radar. So we can see here by moving our radar cursor around, it tells us the bullseye position we're moving it to. Obviously there's nothing there because I'm not airborne, my radar's off right now. But I get my position in the bullseye from the bullseye in the bottom left. So from me to the bullseye 30225. And we get the cursor position to bullseye. So if I have a radar contact, that's when I speak to the E3 or the ground control and I declare the group. So Overlord, declare group bullseye 0102 27,000. And I can also see that little bullseye symbol there. This information that I'm using on the radar page, as I maneuver my cursor around, it's also mirrored over here on the HSD. So 25513, 25513, exactly the same. Now if another unit calls out a group, say I don't have it on my radar, like I don't now because it's not on. If another group calls out a contact and tells me its bullseye is 15022, so if it was this thing here, which we know is the Overlord from that, so if they said there's a group here and I can't see it on my radar, what I can do is move my radar to that position. So I'm going to move my radar to 15522, so I'd come over, make the radar the sense of interest, then I'm going to move this to 15522 miles. Now we might need to zoom out for it, and we'd have there 15522. Obviously it's moving, so it was in that position 15522. So we can pre-position our radar over an area looking for a target. So when you're airborne, you get contacts. This is how we use Bullseye. You get the target information here on your HSD. Your information about where you are is here, sorry, on your radar page, and mirrored on the HSD. Whenever you move your radar compass or your radar cursor, you have the target information there. It's literally that simple how we use Bullseye. And like I said in the little thing earlier, we use call sign, number, groups, location, altitude, ID, fill in information. But if you're the fighter and you want information on the target, you just move your cursor over it or your HSD and you declare on the position, Overlord, declare group bullseye 12040 9000. And they will tell me what the group bearing from bullseye 12040 9000 is. Absolutely simple. That's how simple it is in Bullseye in the F-16. I'll explain it further in future videos when I'm actually flying the F-16. You'll hear me talking to the other guys flying in channel talking about it. But actually setting it up, it's easy to do. So if we have our bullseye point selected, simple. Now let's say we wanted to select a bullseye point that we don't have selected. So we don't have anything ready, so our mission maker hasn't given us a bullseye point. What we need to do is press F10. By pressing F10 we go into our map and we can see the bullseye point there. So we've got 4308 decimal, was that 935 I'll say, and then we've got 04020 470. So we're writing down that position. Now if you don't have it in decimal seconds, press left alt and Y and that changes between the types of coordinates that are displayed in the top left, but you want decimal seconds. Now back in the aircraft itself, now we can only have, if we look at our bullseye, so list 08, we can only have up to steer point 25 selected for our bullseye. So let's put it on, I'll go 20 I guess, and then hit return. Now at the moment, let me go back to bullseye, list 08. I'll deselect the bullseye right now. So what we want to do is make steer point 20 as our bullseye. Excuse me, as I cough. Now we want to go steer point. Now we're going to go up to 20. So steer point 20, and we've got it in as manual. So I'm going to go double down to the position. Now this is where we put in what we had from the map. So we're going to press north. And then 4308, 4308, 935, enter. Double down, and then we're going to press east, 04020 enter. And then we can hit return. Now if we go back to list 08, we double, in fact we've got bullseye selected. If we didn't have 20 selected, we would cycle down, but we're going to go to 20, that's where we put it. So double up, and when we press 0 it will select. Now our bullseye point is selected. Now we can see here it's the same as where steer point 4 was, because obviously that's where it is in this mission, but you can have that bullseye point anywhere. So as long as you and the people you're talking to and with have the same point selected, you can all do the same job and find the same targets. So that's how we input it as a steer point. And then off you'd go and fly. But again, you only need to do that inputting of the steer point if your mission maker hasn't given you already. Check the mission briefings on multiplayer missions. You'll often be told what the bullseye point is for a steer point. But that's it. It's very easy to input it in the F-16. And using it itself, it's the same as it is in the F-18 video. All you need to do is find your contact. So let's say I'm over here in the fire control radar. Obviously it's not on because I'm not airborne. So I'm looking at the numbers here, and the first 3 are the bearing, the second is the range, and then you've got altitude. So Overlord, declare group bullseye 13830 27,000. And he'll tell me what that contact is. And then if you're targeting that group, you would say Viper 1 targets group bullseye 13829 27,000. That lets everyone in the net know that you're going for that group, you have it, and then they're not going to target it either. Or they could say supporting because they know that same position. So that's it. That's Bullseye in the F-16. I hope this helped. I'll do more GCI stuff because I am a GCI instructor, and it's easy peasy. And if you get any questions, feel free to ask me. Don't forget to come along and join us at Tactical DCS. Link is in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, Tactical Pascale out.